Well, well, well. Our clown in chief president today decided to make America look bad. You know, he totally embarrassed this country today, acting like a mobster, acting like a gangster, acting like a thug, trying to make President Zelensky bow down to him and JD Vance. It was very disgusting. You know, and I have seen the viewpoint from the right, and I have seen the viewpoint from the left. And I don't have what I'm gonna say is I'm gonna give you my viewpoint. And this is not because I lean towards the left. It's because I'm an American. And what I expect from the president of the United States is dignity and respect for everybody who comes into the White House. The White House is the people's house. That's not Donald Trump's house. When you treat people the way he treated the president of Ukraine today, you deserve to be kicked out of the White House, to be honest with you. I'm embarrassed. But we're going to look at this, and I'm going to show you a lot of people not talking about what I'm going to talk about at the end of this video, because there is something that everybody is missing that makes this even more embarrassing to all of America. But let's go. Let's take a look at this.
You align yourself too much with Putin. What's your message for them?
Well, if I didn't align myself with both of them, you'd never have a deal. You want me to say really terrible things about Putin and then say, "Hi, Vladimir, how are we doing on the deal?" That doesn't work that way. I'm not aligned with Putin. I'm not aligned with anybody. I'm aligned with the United States of America and for the good of the world. I'm aligned with the world, and I want to get this.
When he said that he's aligned with America, that's the best thing he ever said. I totally agree with him when he made that statement. Yes, you should be aligned with America. You shouldn't be aligned with no other country. You should be doing what's benefiting the United States of America. So I do agree with that part.
Thing over with. You see the hatred he's got for Putin. It's very tough for me to make a deal with that kind of hate. He's got tremendous hatred. And I understand that, but I can tell you the other side is exactly in love with, him either. So it's not a question of alignment. I'm aligned with the world. I want to get the thing set. I'm aligned with Europe. I want to see if we can get this thing done. You want me to be tough? I could be tougher than any human being you've ever seen. I'd be so tough, but you're never going to get a deal that way. So that's the way it goes. All right, one more question.
I want to respond to this. So look, for 4 years in the United States of America, we had a president who stood up at press conferences and talked tough about Vladimir Putin, and then Putin invaded Ukraine and destroyed a significant chunk of the country. The path to peace and the path to prosperity is maybe engaging in diplomacy. We tried the pathway of Joe Biden of thumping our chest and pretending that the president of the United States' words mattered more than the president of the United States' actions. What makes America a good country is America engaging in diplomacy. That's what President Trump is doing.
Can I ask?
When he said diplomacy, that's fine and dandy, if that's what you call yourself doing. But that's not what they're doing. This is not diplomacy. And I'm going to point this out later on in this video to the point I'm going to show you why it's not diplomacy. But let's keep going.
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So he occupied our parts, big parts of Ukraine, part of East and Crimea. So he occupied it on 2014. So during a lot of years, so I'm not speaking about just Biden, but those time was Obama, then President Obama, then President Trump, then President Biden, now President Trump, and God bless, now President Trump will stop him. But during 2014, nobody stopped him. He just occupied and took. He killed people. You know what the contact line?
2015.
2014.
2014 and 2015.
2014.
Yeah. So
I was,
he
I
killed.
was not here.
Yeah, but
That's exactly
but-
right.
Yes, but during 2014 till 2022, yeah, the situation the same. The people are been dying on the contact line. Nobody stopped him. You know that we had conversations with him, a lot of conversation, my bilateral conversation, and we.
And also, y'all need to realize also, Trump claims to be this great deal maker, right? Now, we all know that when Trump was in office the first time, Ukraine was fighting Russia. And what did Trump do? Yes, Trump sent them missiles. But was Trump trying to settle that conflict then? No, he keeps saying that Putin did not invade Ukraine on his watch. But at the same time, Ukraine was fighting Russia at the time he was in office the first time. Was he trying to make a deal then? No, he wasn't. The only thing he like to say is, oh, when I was in office, Russia did not invade Ukraine. That's the only thing he says. But he never talks about the fact that Ukraine was fighting Russia when he was in office the first time. Now, did he try to make peace then? No, he did not.
Signed with him, me, like a new president in 2019, I signed with him the deal. I signed with him, Macron and Merkel, we signed ceasefire. All of them told me that he will never go. We signed him with gas contract. Yes, but after that, he broken this ceasefire.
And what Zelensky is talking about now is that in 2019, when Trump was in office, he signed a deal with Russia saying that there will be no more invasion. It will be peace. That's what he's saying now. And that's what he's trying to get across to Trump. But Trump is not really listening to him. So Trump is not a great deal maker because, like I said, maybe he didn't invade Ukraine on Trump's watch, but at the same time, Trump allowed Russia to sit here and make a deal with Ukraine and break that deal.
He killed our people and he didn't exchange prisoners. We signed the exchange of prisoners, but he didn't do it. What kind of diplomacy, JD, you are speaking about? What do you mean?
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but if you
Mr. President.
See, JD Vance don't want to understand what he's saying. He's saying that we went through this before. We went through diplomacy before, and it didn't work because Putin did not keep his word. That's why he's trying to make the idiot JD Vance understand. But JD Vance don't want to hear that. But JD Vance also know he's wrong, so watch what he does.
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems.
You see how he switched that on? You see how he switched that? Because he knew he was wrong with the diplomacy part of it. All of a sudden now he's going to blame Ukraine for this entire situation.
You should be thanking the president for trying to bring an end to this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine that you say what problems we have?
I have been to.
Count once.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems bringing people into your military? And do you think that it's respectful?
Having problem bringing people into your military. Yes, Ukraine might be struggling with people joining their military. But you know what? You know who else is struggling? Russia. That's why Ukraine is fighting not only Russia, they're fighting North Korea, they're fighting mercenaries, they're fighting everybody who's signing up to go fight for Russia. They're not only fighting Russians. See, this is the point that they started to embarrass people in America, J.D. Vance and Donald Trump, because they're sitting here and saying that this man don't have enough people to fight the war, and which is true, but Russia don't even have enough people to fight the war. And they're going out and getting mercenaries and other countries to come and help them. But they don't want to talk about that, though. They just want to talk about Ukraine not having the manpower to fight this war.
To come to the Oval Office of the United States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country.
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems. Even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless.
You don't know
God
that.
bless. You
Don't-
will not
you
have
gotta-
a war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because
I'm
you're in no
answering on this
position to
question.
dictate that.
That's exactly
Remember
what
this.
you're
I'm
doing.
not
You're
dictating.
in no position to dictate what we're going to feel.
You
We're
will-
going to feel very
you will
good.
feel influence.
We're going to feel
I'm-
very
I'm
good and
telling
very
you.
And here's why I give Zelensky a lot of fucking credit, because he's standing up to Donald Trump. He's not going to let Donald Trump bully him. No matter what Donald Trump says, he's not going to bully this man. This is a man. This is the president of Ukraine. And Donald Trump thinks that this man should bow down to him, and he's not going to bow down to him. And I salute him for this.
You
strong.
will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed
From the
yourself
very-
to be in a
from
very
the very
bad position,
beginning
and he
of the
happens
war.
to be right
From
about
the
it.
very beginning of the war.
You're not
Mr.
in a good
Brown,
position.
I
You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having
not playing
cards.
cards.
Right now, you
I'm
don't.
very
You're playing
serious,
cards.
Mr. President.
You're
I'm
playing
very
cards.
serious.
You're
I'm
gambling
the
with the
president
lives
in
of
war.
millions of people.
You think
You're gambling with World War III.
What you
You're
speaking about?
gambling with
What are you
World
speaking
War
about?
III. And
Yeah.
what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country.
I'm
That's
with
back
all
to you.
respect to you.
Far more.
No, Donald Trump, you are respecting this country. You are disrespecting America, not Zelensky. You are disrespecting this country. The way you are behaving in the White House at this point in time, you are disrespecting America in the White House, the people's house.
More than a lot of people said
Where
they
is that?
should have.
Have you said thank you once this
A lot
entire
of
meeting?
times.
No, in this
Even
entire
today.
meeting.
See, this is the part where they really want him to bow down, telling this man that he should be thanking them right now in this meeting. That is nothing but a bully technique. That's a gangster technique. They want this man to get on his knees and thank them for the American people helping Ukraine. He shouldn't have to thank these people. Matter of fact, he already thanked American for helping him fight this war. But J.D. Vance and Donald Trump want this man to get on his knees, just like the other Republican Party, like the Republican Party has for them, and suck them off. And he refused to do it. Thank you for standing up for your own self-righteousness.
You said thank
Even
you.
today.
You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for the United States of America and the president who's trying to save your country.
No, Donald Trump is not trying to save his country. America is helping him save his country. This is not about Donald Trump. You got to remember, Donald Trump only been in office like 30-some days. Joe Biden helped this man. America has helped this man. This is not about Donald Trump and J.D. Vance. This is about America. See, they're making this about them, two individuals, and they're forgetting about this is America who's helping them, not Donald Trump and J.D. Vance.
Please, you think that if you will speak very loudly about the war, you
He's
can.
not speaking loudly. He's not
Yeah.
speaking loudly. Your country's in big trouble.
Can I
Wait a
answer?
minute. No,
Can
you've
I
done a lot
answer?
of talking. Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
You're not
I
winning.
know.
You're not winning this. You have a damn
We-
good chance of
we are
coming out
staying,
okay because of
Mr.
us.
President, we are staying in our country, staying strong from the very beginning of the war. We've been alone, and we are thankful. I said thanks.
You haven't
in
been
this
alone.
cabinet.
Yes, he has been alone. No other country have put troops on the ground in Ukraine. Ukraine has been fighting this all alone. Yes, you have given them weapons to fight this war, but they have been all alone. Russia have recruited mercenaries. Russia have recruited North Koreans to help them fight this war. Ukraine citizens have fought this war all alone, and that's what he's talking about. He's not talking about weapons and money. He's talking about the lives that have been lost in Ukraine on their side, which are Ukrainians' lives. No other country, but nothing but Ukrainians have fought this war.
You haven't been alone. We
cabinet.
gave you, through
I
this
said
stupid
thank-
president, $350 billion.
You
And see, this is another thing also. He sit here and he disrespects other American presidents. And see, this is the part that got me also. How can we sit here and allow this man to disrespect Obama and Biden sitting in the White House? Understand that. That is disgusting. The way he talks about Joe Biden and Barack Obama as a sitting president in the White House.
We gave you military equipment, and you men are brave, but they had to use our military.
What about West?
If you didn't have
You
our
invited
military
me.
equipment,
You invited
if
me
you
to
didn't
speak.
have our military equipment, this war would have been over in 2 weeks.
In 3
okay?
days, I heard it from Putin. In 3 days, this is something
Maybe
new.
less.
In 2 weeks, of course, yes.
It's going to be a very hard thing to do business like this. I
Again,
tell you.
just say thank you.
And JD Vance is still talking about saying thank you. They still trying to make this man bow down. This is so disgusting. So disgusting.
I said it a lot of times. To American people.
Except that there are disagreements, and let's go litigate those disagreements rather than trying to fight it out in the American media when you're wrong. We know that you're wrong.
But you see, I think it's good for the American people to see what's going on.
I understand.
Yeah, it's good for the American people to see how much of an ass you are. You're most definitely right about that. I'm glad you allowed the press to stay in. I'm glad you allowed for the camera to start rolling, to keep rolling, because the American people sees the type of person you and JD Vance really are. Y'all are asshole. Y'all are not politicians. Y'all are nothing but thugs and mobsters. That's what you are.
Yes, sir.
I think it's very
understand.
important. That's why I kept this going so long. You have to be thankful. You don't have the
I'm
cards.
thankful.
You're
Look how many times that they told this man he need to be thankful. Like I said, they want this man to bow down to them. That's why they keep telling this man he should be thankful. It's all about trying to belittle this man, make him feel less than a man. That's what they're doing.
buried there. Your people are dying. You're
again,
running low on soldiers. Listen, you're running low on soldiers. It would be a damn good thing. And then you tell us, I don't want a ceasefire. I don't want a ceasefire. I want to go and I want this. Look, if you could get a ceasefire right now, I tell you, you take it so the bullets stop flying and your men stop getting killed.
Of course, we want to stop the war.
But you're saying you don't want a ceasefire.
But I said to you,
I want a
with
ceasefire
guarantees.
because you'll get a ceasefire faster than an agreement.
Ask our people about ceasefire, what they think.
That wasn't with me.
For you what,
That wasn't with me. That was with a guy named Biden who was not a smart person. That was your.
He's calling Joe Biden not a smart person while he sits here and look like an ass in front of the American people. Just understand that.
That was with Obama.
It was your president.
Excuse me. That was with Obama, who gave you sheets, and I gave you javelins.
Yes.
I gave you the javelins to take out all those tanks. Obama gave.
See, this is what I'm telling y'all. Trump was in office when Ukraine was fighting Russia the first time. Now, was he trying to be a deal maker then? No, he wasn't. He had no interest in trying to stop Russia from doing what they was doing to Ukraine.
Give you sheets. In fact, the statement is Obama gave sheets and Trump gave javelins. You got to be more thankful, because let me tell you, you don't have the cards. With us, you have the cards. But without us, you don't have any cards.
One more question to Mr. Vice President. I'm sorry.
It's going to be a tough deal to make
Uh,
because the attitudes have to change.
What if Russia breaks ceasefire?
Now, this part right here is the most disgusting part of this entire video. This right here is absolutely disgusting. Now, you thought earlier in the week when he voted with Russia and he voted with North Korea against Ukraine, you thought that was disgusting. This right here is very disgusting.
What if Russia breaks peace talks? What do you do then? I understand that it's a heated conversation right now.
What are you saying?
She's asking, what if Russia breaks the ceasefire?
What if anything? What if a bomb drops on your head right now? Okay? What if they broke it? I don't know. They broke it with Biden because Biden, they didn't respect him. They didn't respect Obama. They respect me.
No, they don't respect you. They just use you as a pawn because they know you're so easily manipulated by just praising you. So they just use you. That's all. You're a useful idiot. They don't respect you.
Let me tell you, Putin went through a hell of a lot with.
Now just listen to this shit. Listen to what he's about to say. The most disgusting shit you will ever hear from a United States of American president.
He went through a phony witch hunt where they used him and Russia. You ever hear of that deal? That was
He went through a witch hunt. He's talking about Putin going through a witch hunt. Just understand that. He's talking about Putin going through a witch hunt.
That was a phony Hunter Biden, Joe Biden scam. Hillary Clinton, Shifty Adam Schiff. It was a Democrat scam. And he had to go through that. And
he had to go through it. He had to go through it. Putin, the thug, had to go through it. A witch hunt. Just let this sink in.
He did go through it. We didn't end up in a war. And he went through it. He was accused of all that stuff. He had nothing to do with it. It came out of Hunter Biden's bathroom.
He had nothing to do with it. It came out of Hunter Biden laptop. Putin had nothing to do with it. You see how he's defending Putin? You see, this is a useful idiot. Putin is enjoying this right now.
It came out of Hunter Biden's bedroom. It was disgusting. And then they said, oh, the laptop from hell was made by Russia. The 51 agents. The whole thing was a scam. And he had to put up with that.
He had to put up with it. Putin had to put up with it. Putin had to put up with it. Listen to what this guy is saying. Listen to what the United States of America president is saying about Putin.
Being accused of all that stuff. All I can say is this. He might have broken deals with Obama and Bush, and he might have broken them with Biden. He did, maybe. Maybe he didn't. I don't know what happened. But he didn't break them with me. He wants to make a deal. I don't know if you can make a deal. The problem is I've empowered you to be a tough guy. And I don't think you'd be a tough guy without the United States. And your people are very brave. But
he's sitting here insulting the president of Ukraine while sitting here and praising and saying what Putin went through, a dictator of Russia. Let that sink in. Just let that sink in. I'm going to go back and play the full thing without interruption because I know I was cutting it off and on. But I just want y'all to hear exactly what he said about Putin again because I want y'all to get the full-blown context of it because this right here is very sickening. It's very disgusting.
You're either going to make a deal or we're out. And if we're out, you'll fight it out. I don't think it's going to be pretty, but you'll fight it out. But you don't have the cards. But once we sign that deal, you're in a much better position. But you're not acting at all thankful. And that's not
He's using the word thankful again. But let me go back. Let me go back to the point where he was talking about Putin again, because I want y'all to actually hear exactly.
I don't know if you can make a deal. The problem is I've empowered you to be a tough guy. And I don't think you'd be a tough guy without the United States. And your people are very brave. But you're either going to make a deal or we're out. And if we're out, you'll fight it out. I don't think it's going to be pretty, but you'll fight it out. Okay? What if they broke it? I don't know. They broke it with Biden because Biden, they didn't respect him. They didn't respect Obama. They respect me. Let me tell you, Putin went through a hell of a lot with me. He went through a phony witch hunt where they used him and Russia. You ever hear of that deal? That was a phony Hunter Biden, Joe Biden scam. Hillary Clinton, Shifty Adam Schiff. It was a Democrat scam. And he had to go through that. And he did go through it. We didn't end up in a war. And he went through it. He was accused of all that stuff. He had nothing to do with it. It came out of Hunter Biden's bathroom. It came out of Hunter Biden's bedroom. It was disgusting. And then they said, oh, the laptop from hell was made by Russia. The 51 agents. The whole thing was a scam. And he had to put up with that. He was being accused of all that stuff. All I can say is this. He might have broken deals with Obama and Bush, and he might have broken them with Biden. He did, maybe. Maybe he didn't. I don't know what happened. But he didn't break them with me. He wants to make a deal. I don't know if you can make a deal. The problem is I've empowered you to be a tough guy. And I don't think you'd be a tough guy without.
I'm gonna leave it at that point right there. Like I said, I want y'all to understand how he sits here and said that Putin is basically innocent of everything. Putin was done wrong. Putin had nothing to do with nothing. But at the same time, he sit here and degrade and demean and try to make this man, Zelensky, bow down to him and J.D. Vance. America need to wake up and understand we are in trouble. With this man leading this country, we are most definitely in trouble. Most definitely. So until next time, I'm signing off. I'll salute you all. Y'all have a good night.